There you go. Now I can say hello. Welcome everybody to Coffee Catch-Ups. We are coming to you from a slightly different location today. I thought we would mix it up a little bit. I've kicked the kids out of the lounge, sent them down to the playroom, and we come to you live from my living room for Coffee Catch-Ups today. And it's great to be back. It's funny, I've actually kind of missed doing Coffee Catch-Ups. The last few days. For those of you that were wondering why we didn't have Coffee Catch-Ups the last couple of days, I was actually working with a couple of our advanced students, and I got to spend 3 full days with a couple of our students from Melbourne, and it was so cool to be able to spend some time with people like that and see their transition as you show them different ways and as you teach them different elements and financial education and the mindset attached to the financial education. It's so rewarding to see that transition of people, and I think these guys are going to go on to do some really great things, and it's super exciting to see just the language and the way that people talk as we go through the training with some of our students. So great to see a few eyes I can see in the corner there jumping in live. So please make sure you give me a like and give me a comment, say hello. If you're joining us live, it is great to be back, and it's always nice to know that there's some people that can actually hear me while I'm coming at you today. So happy Coffee Catch-Ups, happy Thursday. Today's Coffee Catch-Up, I thought we would do a little bit of a catch-up on where we're at on a bunch of different elements, and give you a bit of a few of the things that have come out of the last week that I've been working on or working alongside some of the other team with, and give you a bit of context. We've had a massive few weeks here, even though in Auckland here we have had lockdowns recently. We've just been powering through, and we had a summit on the weekend, which was epic. I know that if any of you that have caught up on the last few Coffee Catch-Ups, you would have heard me talking about the summit. It was so much fun. We had a wicked event, and the feedback out of it was so cool. It was awesome. I jumped off presenting. It was 3 hours of presenting, jumped off, and the emails flowing through from people that jumped on and watched it was really cool. Nice positive responses. And it was really great. A couple of key points I thought I'd share with you guys out of it. And one of them was the fact that we established that there was actually 10 ways that you could add value to a property. And I thought that was quite interesting, because this comes back down to the creative concept that we're always talking about. When you go into any sort of property transaction, we're not going to be going into it with what it is currently. We're always looking at what the opportunities are in adding value, what the opportunities are in adding rent to the property. So I thought I'd just share with you guys actually the 10 that we had in terms of adding value to property. So we got cosmetic renovations, putting a bit of lipstick on, making it not look nice and pretty. We got more structural renovations, getting in there, changing layouts, potentially even building, additions to properties, extensions onto properties. There we have 3 already. Conversions, garage conversions. For those of you aware, one of my properties that I've got over in Napier region, it's got this massive garage. I've talked about it for a while, but part of this 100K challenge that Kyron has been running, I was like, damn, I need to get onto that. So we're converting that into a 3-bedroom home. That there is a conversion. Great way to add value, great way to add yield. We look at change of title. Often we think about everything has to be actual renovation styles or building something or making something prettier. What about changing titles and understanding the different titles that are attached to properties? A change from a cross lease to a freehold. Even better, the change from a leasehold to potentially freehold. And these are some of the ways that we can really be quite smart about making money or making wealth or creating equity through using, I guess, upstairs, using what we've got, in our head. The other one that we've got in terms of that is looking at consents. A great strategy for those of you that don't want to go through the whole actual subdivision and build is to actually just look to get resource consent. Straight away, there's a lot of investors out there who would be willing to jump onto properties that have resource consent for subdivisions or potentially even building consent. So adding consents, definitely another one there. Adding dwellings, obviously can't go wrong, especially with some of the tax changes. be smart about where you have your debt associated. If you can move debt to certain properties, you're going to be more tax efficient. Something that you definitely want to catch up with your accountant and work through. If you have any questions about that, let us know. Flick me an email, jono@wealthmentor.co.nz. I'd love to talk you through. I'm not an accountant, but I have a pretty solid understanding as to what it's like in terms of property and accounting. So we've got subdivisions, changing the usage of the property, something that I think is going to be very prominent, and something that you really want to start to get your head around is the concept of changing commercial to residential. So commercial property that is no longer as desirable. So we're looking at properties, potentially office spaces that could be converted into residential. We've got a huge shortage of residential properties in New Zealand, so definitely something to consider. And the other one that I love talking about, and something that people often don't consider, and that is just getting the property up to market rent. Taking a property that is under rented, so you've got landlords who haven't, kept up with current market trends and got their properties up to market rent. There is often the situation where valuers will come in and really look to value the property based on what market rent is, or what the rent is of the property. So just by increasing the rent on the property to market rent, we're not trying to overcharge tenants here. We're going fair. With market rent, we can often see some added value to the property as well. Is there any other ideas or concepts that you guys have out there that you maybe want to add to those 10? I think they're quite exciting and always create options. So go into any transactional property that you see with this open eyes concept, that what else could I do to the property? Have that creative mindset. Is really something you want to take into it. The other thing that really stood out was the best use of land. We saw what Paul was doing with his developments. Epic stuff. Unbelievable transactions. He was talking through some last night. We had a Q&A for those of you that purchased a ticket. Jumped in a Q&A, which was really cool to have 20 investors in a one-on-one situation jumping through some questions. Paul's just casually talking through one of his deals, and he's talking about he's just got a valuation back and made, I think it was $450,000 of equity gain on one of his deals that he's working through. Really cool to talk through the specifics of something like that. And it was really, I think, a great session that we had last night. Really enjoyed that one. It was quite funny as well last night as we were going through it, because Paul, for those of you that don't know, Paul Southey really tapped in many different areas. A great resource for us here at Wealth Mentor as one of our mentors. He's also running our developers workshop in a couple of months, which is going to be super cool. So Paul is very tapped in terms of local governments, in terms of reporting to government, in terms of master builders, and it sits on a whole lot of boards. And I think I've actually decided that I'm going to change Paul's name now, and we're going to start to call him Statman. Because boy, does he come out with some stats. Yesterday, a couple of stats that came out is that this year is actually, in terms of building consents, we're about 5,000 building consents up on previous years, which is fantastic. But at the same time, we still have a huge shortage. We still have the massive shortage of close to 100,000 homes that he's talking about. It's pretty insane. But it's a positive that we do have these 5,000 extra consents in there, and that does start to bode well for the elements. Now, the other one that we're always talking about is the shortage of good trades, the shortage of trades that we can rely on or we work alongside. Interesting stat that Paul actually gave us last night, man, was that there's 10,000 applicants for apprenticeships at the moment. So 10,000 applications for apprenticeships. That is really exciting for the industry. And I think it really bodes well for New Zealand economy as we go through this real building boom, or, the fact is that we have the shortage. We really need to be looking at what we can do in terms of providing more housing and having these extra apprenticeships coming through. I think really does steer the ship in the right direction. Obviously, there's a long way to go. For those of you that are investing currently, I know that I've harped on a lot about land. Even hearing from one of our advanced students was talking to one of our mentors the other day, and he's like, I keep hearing Jono tell me, make sure I'm buying land. And it's so true, because for me, I believe we have this serious situation where we want to be ensuring that we are making the best use of our land available. We don't have the ability to make more land. It's a simple concept, but it's so true. We don't have the ability to make more land. We're not like Australia that has abundance of land around us. We are in a situation where we really have, mountains, rivers, oceans around us, and we are in a situation where land is going to become extremely valuable, especially as you guys are investing through your journey and the future development potential of some of that land. One of the things as well that really came out of it from the last few weeks for me is, working with so many different individuals is understanding what financial freedom means to them. When you start to dive into what financial freedom or financial education or financial knowledge means to people, it's quite interesting, because for everybody, it's a different concept. It's something that as individuals we grow financially more savvy as we get through it, or we should be educating ourselves. But often it's the lack of financial knowledge that means that we make decisions based on emotion, and we see a lot of that. Last night, a lot of the questions were referred to where the mistakes happen within your investing. And to be fair, those mistakes are coming in when it's emotion-based investing. So as soon as we can go through our transactions, go through our investing, our journey and our plan, our process, and we go through it with not emotional, but on actual factual evidence, that's when we start to see some really awesome results. Talking about awesome results, if you guys haven't caught the latest Property Investor magazine, I definitely recommend jumping in there, because there is a really, really cool article on one of our mentors, one of our speakers. I'm sure you've seen her face, you've heard from her if you've been following much of Wealth Mentor, Belinda Beatty. Absolutely amazing investor, her and Stephen. Stephen doesn't get much credit because we always talk about Belinda, but he's a dynamite in his own mind. I'm very jealous actually, because they're actually literally on their way to Queenstown right now for a lovely little family holiday, and we're in Auckland in lockdown. Hey, is what it is. Enjoy, Belinda. All the jokes that I've been sending you about being very sad that you're going is just it's envy. It's just pure envy. So enjoy your trip down south. But there's a really great article, I think it's about 4 or 5 pages, on one of Belinda's and Stephen's recent deals, which was a motel conversion. How cool, a motel conversion. And to see what they were able to do in terms of the equity uplift. We're talking about an equity uplift of over $1 million. We're talking about cash of over $100,000. Definitely grab Property Investor magazine and have a read of that one. There's a nice little advert down the bottom of her article as well, where you'll see a few of the Wealth Mentor faces, which is quite cool as well to be in there. Oh, coffee is delicious. So yeah, like I was telling you guys, we've had a big few weeks. There's a lot going on with Wealth Mentor. Behind the scenes, the team has been working exceptionally hard. I want to actually take this moment to have a shout out to the team that has been putting in some massive effort. Especially when we look at Natalia behind the scenes on making sure that everybody's up to speed and happy, and the systems that she's been doing in terms of making sure that our customers get the best experience. I mean, her role as customer success, she takes it very seriously and makes sure that everybody's getting the best. Nimesh, I actually see him because he's behind the scenes while we're busy doing this coffee catch up, has been doing a lot of work in the digital space. I mean, the way that we were able to run the summit on the weekend remotely, having 3 of us in different locations, and put together a high definition, a high quality event, exceptional what he does, as well as building some really cool imagery. The bottom link, virtual coffee catch-ups, all built by Nimesh. He does a great job and a lot of hard work. And Kyron as well, who's so passionate about Wealth Mentor and puts a lot of heart and soul into it. We got some really cool things coming. We got a bit of a timeline that we're probably about a month away from launching something really, really exciting. So keep a lookout and stay close to the fire with the team at Wealth Mentor. And thanks to the team for all their hard work. Coming up for Wealth Mentor in the next little while, we have got a cash flow masterclass next week. Again, super exciting. For those of you that don't know what our cash flow masterclass is, you want to know a little bit more about what we have coming up, please yell out Jono at Wealth Mentor, Office at Wealth Mentor, Natalia at Wealth Mentor, yell out at us, let us know if you want to hear more of it. We can even jump on a call. I can flick you guys through my calendar link and we can jump into a call and discuss what we have coming up. I love connecting with people. It was awesome today to hear from one of our students attended a cash flow masterclass a little while ago and had really got himself a little bit stuck. He watched one of the coffee catch-ups and it had really invigorated him and got him excited about what the possibilities were to continue his investing journey. We jumped on a call today, and to be fair, he is about to hit the ground running. Kenny, you are the man. I'm excited about what is coming up for you after our call this morning. So please reach out. Let's catch up. Let's connect and continually help grow this amazing community, amazing people. I can see a comment from Therese there. She does a lot for us behind the scenes as well, and is an exceptional investor in her own right, and fantastic work as always from Therese. So yeah, like I was saying, we have had a lot going on, and yeah, we're very excited to be bringing you guys a whole lot of new stuff that's coming to fruition in the next month or so. I've got one more person I'd actually like to make a little bit of a shout out to, and this is something I think just shows the awesome element of our network and our community. So as part of Wealth Mentor community, you get access to a lot of cool things, a lot of benefits. I'm not going to go through them now, but one of our advanced students who's doing some really cool investing as well, Tim, has decided that he wants to grow that. He wants to make sure that our students get more and more awesome abilities and benefits. So he's then taken on that role and is putting some effort into growing the benefits for our students. So Tim, thanks so much for your efforts on that. And I can't wait for that reevaluation on that place, because I think it is going to be exceptional. You're a legend. Good on you, man. So guys, tomorrow on Coffee Catch-Ups is going to be a bit of a different person on, someone who, he's closing in very close. We're only a few hundred people off 80,000 YouTube followers. YouTube subscribers, 80,000 YouTube subscribers, and he'll be on Coffee Catch-Ups with me tomorrow. He's attended our cash flow masterclass, so it'd be interesting to see, what his take was on attending a masterclass. Exceptional individual, a really, really great guy who, a lot of time for, and I think that in any case will be a huge knowledge, be able to pass on for everybody tomorrow. So make sure you tune in live. It's Friday as well, so we all love a good Friday coffee catch up. And then we will carry on jumping into next week, because Auckland is still in level 4, and it kind of makes me laugh, because I think if you guys remember the first coffee catch up we did, I set some goals, and literally all my goals had to do with I would do this every day of the lockdown. I would do this every day of the lockdown. Well, lockdown keeps getting extended. So now I think we're 31 days in Auckland. There's 31 days in a row that I've done exercise, which is cool, because I think it's about 5 kgs down, which I'm pretty excited about. Pretty good to see that progress. And the other thing was just making sure that we can get out to as many people as possible. I've been overwhelmed by the viewings of these coffee catch-ups, both on YouTube, and on Facebook. It's been exceptional. And also the change that it's made to hear people's positive stories out of the coffee catch-up. So please hit me up if there's anything that that's really resonated for you during the catch-ups that you'd like to talk about. That would be awesome to hear from you guys. The other one was the time with the family, making sure memorable moments. I have to take my hat off to my wife. She has done a stellar job, because I have been busy. I mean, the last 3 days, I've locked myself away and spent time with these clients. She has been a stellar in that regard. But, the cool thing is, in terms of, my daughter Isla's, she's away riding her bike. She was, before lockdown, she was not away, as confidently riding a bike. We play Uno every evening. She loves it. Nothing like hitting your 5-year-old daughter with a +4 and seeing her face drop. But hey, it's part of it. It's competition. We're out there, and it's amazing what you can do when you set your mind to certain elements. And guys, I guess this comes back down to the thing I really want to leave you with today is mindset. It really comes down to, can we work on developing our mindset? Because we can grow as individuals. We can be better. We can continually educate ourselves. We can take ourselves to the next level. But it all needs to start with how we set ourselves up within our mindset. It's something we do a lot of work with our community within Wealth Mentor to get your mindset right, because once you get the upstairs correct, the opportunities are endless. And you can get out there, you can change your world, you can change the world around you. And to be fair, you can start to change the world. And that is very much our goal. The team is working so hard to get out there and start to change the world. And it's our pleasure to have so many of you jumping on and watching these videos. So thank you again to everybody. That brings me to the end of today's coffee catch up. It's been great to come to you. The couch is a lot more comfortable than the chair that I've been sitting on, but it's been awesome to see you all. Thanks again for the likes and the comments. If you're watching this in the replay, make sure you jump in, comment. Again, guys, I'll jump in, I'll comment with where you can get hold of us. Let us know if we can touch base on anything. It's always great to see you guys. And don't forget to tune in tomorrow, where we're going to have his name's Stuart, and there's 80,000 followers that we're going to be discussing. Guys, have a wicked day. And most importantly, make sure you stay awesome.